Back at it again, and we've got to talk about Kamala and Trump. And what we got to talk about today is the absolute terrible, skewing of the numbers. Okay, as that's what I see it as, and I've got some more evidence as to why I believe there's some fudging of the numbers. Now, before we hop into this isn't me pandering. I've got evidence as to why I'm going to say what it is that I have to say. But also, this isn't to just make you feel comfortable and, you take your foot off the gas. Keep your foot on the pedal, okay? Those polls that showed Kamala's up 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever, right? Some of those crazy numbers, they could become reality. Make no mistake about it if we take our foot off the pedal. But I do want to provide a little bit of counter to what mainstream media has been pushing out, because I understand sometimes it can be a little discouraging seeing mainstream media push out all of these crazy numbers and people are like, what, how, I don't believe it's true. And I want to show you this video. I've got a lot of clips today. So this first clip is Mark Halperin. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. He's not a Trump guy, and I think he alludes to it a little bit in this clip, but listen to what he has to say about what he has been seeing in some of these polls. Check it out.
I tell you that there's some public polling already, there's more coming, and there's some private polling that suggests that nationally in the battleground states, she's not ahead. She might be ahead on paper, but well within the margin of error. And there's some battleground states now where I think Donald Trump's on this trajectory is going to be ahead. And it may be, regardless of what happens in the interview, regardless what happens in the debate, it may be that by the middle of September, when things have calmed down, when the Trump campaign have had time to prey on some of the weaknesses that I suggested, that he's ahead in all the Sun Belt states and ahead in Pennsylvania and competitive in Michigan and Wisconsin, which would be roughly where Joe Biden was before the debate, with a single path to 270 electoral votes, the 3 Great Lakes states and Nebraska too. And that would be a scary position for the Democratic Party to be in from mid-September through Election Day, because then they'd have a candidate who'd never won a presidential election, never won a primary or caucus, had run for president once and failed, had been for most of her time as vice president, not a sure-footed person on the national stage. Again, I'm not predicting this will happen, but I think if the data I think is expected to comes out, the people either helped her secure the nomination without a shot being fired, and the people who've long been worried about her against Donald Trump will either been I told you so mode or oh no mode or both. Now, let me show you a tweet from Patrick Ruffini, one of the best Republican strategists out there, a man who knows polling and strategy. This is very much reflective of what I'm talking about here as where we may be. You can go ahead and put the graphic up, please. In this house, we believe Pennsylvania registration trends matter. And as most of you know, probably the Pennsylvania registration trends have trended Republican. Trump has a rock solid base. Hard to argue with that. Trump is polling better than he did in 2020. Hard to argue with that. The electoral college bias is real. Impossible to argue with that in favor of the Republicans. Harris is the de facto incumbent. Incumbent parties are losing globally. The Trump campaign, you can take the slide down. The Trump campaign believes that the undecided voters in the battleground states are more male than female, and that they currently favor Trump on all the major issues that voters care about, with the exception of abortion. And that although Harris has narrowed the gap with where Biden was against Trump regarding those issues, they believe they'll open it back up, and they'll open it back up particularly with these undecided voters. So again, I'm not predicting this is going to happen, but it's certainly more likely to happen if Harris has a bad interview and a bad debate. But even if she does well in those, it's a very real possibility that she's going to be back to one electoral college path. And whether you think that she should have a bigger lead because of a strong convention, or a bigger lead because of an unprecedented run of winning news cycles and extremely favorable news coverage, whether you believe she should be up by what Biden was up and Hillary were up or not, I'm warning those of you who want Trump to lose that by the middle of next month, there's a real possibility, based on what I've seen in terms of public and private data and data that I think we'll see in the next couple of days, that suggests that she could be where Joe Biden was, one electoral college path, and not a particularly strong hold on it.
Yeah. And notice what he said. He said if she has a bad interview and a bad debate, well, she just had the bad interview, and I would assume the debate isn't going to be any better. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of predicting that she's going to find a way to weasel out of the debate. I mean, if I'm a Democrat, and rumors are that interview with Dana Bash, the rumor is that interview was 40 minutes. We only saw 18. So over half, allegedly, over half of that interview is gone. We never got to see it. Why didn't we get to see over half of that interview? If I'm a Democrat, there's no way I'm putting her on a debate stage against one of the greatest debaters of all time. There's no way. There's no way. But here's what Rasmussen posted in response to what Mark had to say. Yeah. You see that? Mm-hmm. And I've told you guys and showed you why I believe Rasmussen is correct. Even Australian news is talking about the honeymoon is over. Australian news. Check it out.
Well, it was only a matter of time until the honeymoon period with Kamala Harris would come to an end. And with just over 2 months to go until Americans cast their vote, it looks like that day has come. Looking at the latest polling that is out today, Donald Trump is either even or well ahead of Kamala Harris in 7 crucial battleground states. According to a Trafalgar Group survey, Donald Trump leads Kamala Harris 47 to 45% in Pennsylvania, and he's ahead 47 to 46% in Wisconsin. Now, a separate survey by Insider Advantage shows that Donald Trump is leading Kamala Harris by 1 point in Arizona, Nevada, and North Carolina. Now, we know that both campaigns are targeting the independent and undecided voters in key states, and anything can happen between now and November 5. But the latest figures that show that support for Kamala Harris is slipping comes just days after she finally sat down for an interview with CNN's Dana Bash, which was more of a puff piece than anything else.
When you got Australian news reporting on stuff like that, like I mean, I think it says a lot, right? But I think everybody knows, including Trump, right, that a lot of these polls that they're pushing out aren't real. And even Trump commented on it. Check it out.
You know, they have these fake polls. They're almost as bad as the fake writers, the fake news. We interviewed 49 Democrats for a poll. We interviewed 49 Democrats and 21 Republicans. You know, it's a little thing on the bottom. I'm surprised they even put it. They probably must be a law. But they put it 49 Democrats and 21 Republicans. And the race is tied. They said, tied? How the hell can it be tied? So tied means I'm leading by like 14 or 15 points. I don't know. But it's fake news. It's just, it's as bad. It's as bad as they are with a pen. I'm telling you, it's really bad. They can make those polls sing. They can make them do whatever they want.
He's correct. And I believe in the, there was a video of a guy from Rasmussen. I believe he talked about that. You know, they can weight these polls however they want to make them say whatever they want them to say. But one thing that I believe in is going out in the streets and talking to everyday folk, right? And check out this video of a guy who just walked into a random Walmart and asked people, Kamala or Trump? Check it out.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump, of course.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Excuse me, sir? Trump or Kamala?
Oh, Trump, 100%.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
Oh, Trump, for sure.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
No.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump, all the way.
Excuse me, guys? Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
Kamala.
Trump or Kamala?
Kamala? Kamala who? Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
Kamala.
What would you say to Trump if he was here right now?
He's a piece of crap. Should be in jail.
Excuse me? Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Excuse me, sir? Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
Neither.
Excuse me, ma'am? Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Now, granted, that's just one Walmart and one guy walking through, but I've shown you guys those types of videos all the time. Like, it's almost unanimous. There were two people, and the two people you would expect, a black woman and a guy wearing a mask. Now, I'm not saying that all black women feel that way, because I showed you guys, or no, I haven't shown you guys that video, so let me not spoil that one, okay? Shout out to my black sisters, okay? Not all the black women are on board with Kamala, but, you know, it's still probably a majority, if we're being completely honest, but that number is shifting. How much it will shift leading into this election, we'll see. I don't know. Now, one thing that I do want to touch on as well is, even if you didn't believe, right, these polls that I'm showing you, if you didn't believe the street interviews that I've showed you, right, of people, you know, getting asked Trump or Kamala, if you didn't believe any of that, well, maybe you'll believe registration trends. Check it out.
GOP voter registration is now 4 times higher than Democrats. In Florida, there are 1 million more Republican voters than Democrat voters. And compare that to 2020, when Democrats had a 97,000 person edge over the GOP. And according to Newsweek's, no fan of Trump's, in 28 of 30 states that require voters to register with a party, Republicans have net more voter registrations than Democrats.
28 out of 30 Republicans are winning in voter registration. I showed you guys a clip actually the other day. I don't know. I'm showing you guys a clip of a guy, a news, you know, local news in Pennsylvania, talking about that exact same thing. How Republicans have flipped or have gained, I think it was like 275,000 new Republican registrants, and Democrats have lost about that same number. Yeah. Democrats have lost nearly 300,000, and Republicans have gained nearly 300,000. I'm just saying, all of the evidence is there to suggest, no, they're trying to demoralize us with these numbers. These numbers come out, oh, Kamala +8. Like, what? Huh? How? Like, just if you just walk the streets, like, that's not something that you even see. We've seen it in the street interviews. We see it in the voter registration. So what is going on here? Either they're trying to demoralize us, or Republicans just don't respond to polls, which that definitely could be the case as well. I've never been polled, nor would I respond to a poll even if I was being polled. So, I mean, granted, I'm just one guy, right? But like I said, you guys can let me know in the comment section if you've ever been polled, and if someone were to try to poll you, would you respond to said poll? Let me know, because maybe that's the case as well. Republicans just don't respond to polls. I've heard that brought up as well. I think that was, maybe Frank Luntz was talking about that once. Yeah, I don't remember. I think maybe it was Frank, but that could also be the case. You know, Republicans just don't respond. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. I just think it's really interesting to watch them, like, scramble. But like I said, I predicted that this kind of stuff would happen, right? They would have to eventually start telling the truth. And you're starting to see that a little bit. You saw that in the first clip with Mark, okay? That they're only going to be able to put the charades for so long before, like, okay, guys, we got to pull the curtain back because they're going to see it anyway, you know? So, I don't know. Y'all let me know. It's happening a bit earlier than what I predicted, but I won't complain about that. I definitely won't complain, but it's just interesting, you know? It's just a lot of different stuff going on right now all at once, and it's just interesting to see. Yeah, y'all let me know. How do you feel about it? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Why? Why not? Talk to me. But as always, y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.